GameStar spontaneously dropped one of their cleanest G7 Pro designs in this amber flame colorway, so save this video for when you get this controller so you have the best settings for it. The first step, whether you're on Xbox or PC, is downloading the GameStar Nexus app. This is how you're going to fully customize this controller, and if you see this report rate setting, that means you're on PC and you can put it at a 1000 hertz pulling rate. However, if you're on Xbox, you're not going to see this setting because Xbox does cap pulling rate at 250. However, it still is going to have a higher pulling rate than the shitty Elite Series 2. They cap this at 125. For the remappable buttons, there is 2 remappable top bumpers as well as back paddles. I only use the back paddles though. I sync my left one to B and my right one to A for slide canceling. And for the triggers, there is physical trigger stops which offer a little mouse click feeling. So with these enabled, you don't really have to copy these settings. But what I would recommend doing is lowering the initial and max dead zone all the way, as well as putting on the adaptive hair trigger mode and doing the same thing on both triggers. Because pretty much what this is going to do is make it so that if you want to disable the trigger stop, you could see that it only takes a fraction of the pull for it to reach 100%. So in game, it's only going to take a fraction of the pull to shoot your gun or like ADS, for example, because I know a lot of people don't really like the feeling of physical trigger stops. To each their own. But now for the thumbsticks, this is the major thing, and it's a bit controversial, but I would actually recommend lowering the initial dead zone on both sticks to 0, as well as putting on the raw setting to increase your outer radial dead zone, so that's especially good for long ranges, and then putting on 12-bit resolution, so essentially your sticks are going to be more precise and there's more data points. The first reason I say this is a bit controversial though is because you could see that it does lead to stick drift if you do have incomplete centering. However, the last but definitely most crucial step is actually calibrating your controller. So what you're going to want to do is go into the calibration tab. Now you should do the triggers as well actually, because I have had a couple of G7 Pros where the trigger dead zone is off and it'll like randomly start shooting. So definitely do the triggers as well, but the thumbsticks is the main thing. Now you got to keep in mind these are TMR thumbsticks, so essentially they use magnetic sensors rather than the potentiometers that are in your standard Xbox controller. So now as we go back into the game, you could see that there is no more stick drift anymore. And just for confirmation, I am on 0 right stick minimum dead zone in game as well. The second reason I say this is a bit controversial though is because I have seen some people, especially in other games like Halo and Apex Legends, where they say you do want stick drift because it'll actually increase aim assist. But in my experience, that doesn't really make a difference on COD. Ultimately, settings really are just personal preference, but I optimize mine to make the G7 Pro the most responsive and snappy it possibly can. Shout out GameStar though, because this amber colorway is just absolutely beautiful. So like I mentioned, save this video for when you get this controller, because I want to make sure that you have amazing settings right off the rip.